Hi, I'm Nancy, and I'm a member of the Earth Care team at Westminster Presbyterian Church, and I'm here to show you how in my own kitchen I am helping our environment. So about once a week, I make a heart-healthy, very, I think, tasty soup with vegetables. And right down here on the counter, I'm about to do this, are the vegetables, the base of the soup. I also use some frozen vegetables and add to that. I have stock and I have a can of tomatoes. So it's not a cooking lesson, so I'm going to step away and come back and show you where everything went. Thank you. So out on our side deck, we have our recycling bins. This one's quite full. It goes out tomorrow night. Inside, we have all sorts of plastics and cartons and bottles, tin cans. We have paper. All our recycle cartons and stuff, we have paper. Over there we have our deposit bottles. So that takes care of that. Okay, let's go back and deal with, okay, the food waste. I bought this for $1 at the dollar store. You can have a nice clean one on your counter if you want, or under your sink. We have these under our sink because we've been composting for decades now. So I'm going to scoop this. Actually, it'll be easier if I do it into this, I think. I'm going to scoop the food waste into the container, like that. And actually, because I have some already in here, I'm going to dump it into here. And then we're going to take a walk. I'm going to go outside and I'll show you our compost pile. Okay, let's go. Out in our yard, we have a compost bin. Our neighbors have some too. So this is where I take my compost. I'm going to dump it in there and mix it up with some of the leaves. Now this is a brand new cycle. Tom will show you what he cleared out from last year's cycle. This will compress over the year. It'll compress, the leaves will be, and you'll get a nice soil at the end.
So hi everybody. Here you will see 2 years worth of composting from that bin. It looked very much. This is about 2 years worth of composting. In the spring we will spread this over the vegetable garden and grow new food on it. That's it.
Okay, so if you don't have a vegetable garden, you can still compost. We do not have a vegetable garden at our house in Maine. The house is in the woods. We have some flower beds, but that's all. So we've purchased for about $100 a standing barrel where we put our food waste into it and we circulate it every now and then. And it too turns into compost. And then Tom puts that on the flower gardens up in Maine. So you can do that. You can also just, if you don't have flower gardens and you want to compost, you can find some place to put your earth when it turns into soil again. So that's very helpful. Also, if you can't do what we're doing in terms of having a place to compost, you live in an apartment and you really want to do this, there are several, at least 2 that I know of, groups that will, for a monthly fee, will give you a bucket and come and pick up your compost, probably weekly or bi-weekly. I'm not sure how often they do it. So I'm hoping to put those sites up on the Westminster website. I think the Earth Care team's going to have a blog area so that you can get more information on that. We showed you how we compost and recycle at our home. And as a member of the Westminster Presbyterian Earth Care team, I learned that the food waste that is produced in people's houses and goes into the landfill breaks down into methane gas, which is one of the gases that is so harmful to our environment and is causing us global warming. So I'm also a volunteer at the Focus Breakfast Program and the Focus Food Pantry. So I am aware of how much food waste was going into our trash cans and then into the landfill. So I took it upon myself, because I'm a great greenie, that I got bins for each program, and once a week, and I got the cooperation of the other volunteers, so once a week I go into those 2 programs, I pick up the bins, I bring them down here to Radix, our community compost, and they have a nice thing right out here by the sidewalk. So you can see we have eggshells, we have cereal. You can compost your coffee filters if they're non-bleached. These are the produce from the food pantry that didn't get used. Now I live close by, so I now take these bins home and I wash them out with my hose, my garden hose, and then next time I'm going up toward the church and the pantry, I take them and replace them there. Now I also wanted to tell you, because Tom and I compost and because we recycle everything that's recyclable, every week our trash bag, we put out one trash bag and it's usually not even full, maybe half to 3/4 way full. So that's our part that we're trying to do to help our environment. So I hope you've learned something and can join the team with us. Thanks.